Right, how you all doing? Not had a particularly great day today. Not having one at all. I'm only starting the vlog now because I've got to do it at some point. Big man, bless him. Not well again. What do you mean not well again, Scaz? He's not been well for months. I know. Because he had the whole virus and chest infection, and we've all had, well, I've still got the chest infection and that. It's Big man still got it. Just before going to school this morning, throws up everywhere like a scene from The Exorcist. So that was gravy. Whilst I'm on the topic of the children, my youngest son, since my eldest didn't go to school, my youngest son thinks to himself, yeah, I'm going to have a smooth day. Good day. We had a bad day the other day. He was a twat in class. We had to go get him out of school the other day because, what was it, someone didn't answer him in... He was asking, for help or asking for assistance, or just trying to get attention, and another student had asked after him but got answered first, and I said, mate, it's not a straight line to who gets attention unless you are literally in a line in a classroom situation. It's whoever you get to first. It's just whoever you get to next. Right, just wait. Right, and so he started refusing to do his work because he wasn't getting dealt with in a timely manner, in his opinion. It was incredibly rude to the teacher and all that. Today, they didn't want to tell us that he didn't have a particularly good day. They weren't going to. Normally they just come straight up to us and say, well, Theo, we understand that things are going on, blah, blah, blah. And trying to say it wasn't that bad of a day, but it's like, no, if you have to come over and tell us about it, no excuses, bad day. What happened? They are rehearsing for their Christmas play, and he went off to go to the toilet, or I don't know, whatever it was that he had to do. And when he came back, someone was standing in front of his place because they were rehearsing. And the teacher had asked him, wait, when they're finished their bit, you can walk on and go and sit down again. He didn't want to wait, lost his rag. Then he refused to do his maths work because it was too easy later on in the day. Except when his teacher asked him questions about the maths work, he got a shite ton of them wrong, so clearly not that easy. He's had to spend the entire afternoon with the headmistress. Getting tired of it. Still getting tired of it. He's been doing this for years. I mean, funny enough, I was talking to Van about it earlier on today. We were talking about parenting on stream, and how just some parents aren't willing to take responsibility for their children's actions. I don't understand where Theo gets it from, if I had to be completely honest with you. Of my two sons, chalk and cheese, one of them is a little angel. Alright, he can be a bit of an ass sometimes, but the other one is constantly a dickhead. If he doesn't get his way, that switch goes off and he becomes a right bellend. That made me laugh actually, because we were talking about YouTube. Is it the COPPA thing or whatever it is, the Children's Online Protection Privacy Act or whatever it is. Just how this kind of stuff comes into law because, one, we haven't dealt with this kind of thing before, and two, because people aren't willing to take responsibility for their lack of parenting skill. Oh, God. Hang on. Ooh, that was fancy. Sorry. Oh, hang on. I've left me drink. One moment. Inky's made me a coffee with Ben and Jerry's and coconut milk. So, yeah, we were talking about that children's online privacy thing. It's privacy or protection or cop-out, whatever it is, the new thing that's coming out next year. And I was saying how these kind of things have to come into place because we've never had to deal with like online on-demand video before. Online video doesn't follow the same rules as, say, standardized television, so like online video doesn't have a time bracket, so adult specific animation comes on, say, after Watershed when children go to bed. It's just whenever it's there, and it's largely the Wild West of... No, the dog wants to come in. God blimey, mate. And I was talking about actually, you know, keeping an eye on my children and monitoring what my children play and what they do, and, you know, not going too hardcore. Now this whole thing has been derailed, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, obviously I went to go and think, and I've now got my wonderful coffee. I've got a couple of wonderful coffee. Oh, hello. It's a black coffee, yeah. I've had a chat with Theo. I'm not going to lie, I went at him both barrels to start with. It was around dinner time. I go into his room and he was playing games with William. My number one rule is that when he's naughty at school, he doesn't get games, he doesn't get telly or anything. And he started snivelling at me, and I was like, well, why are you crying? Why are you sniffling? I ended up shouting at him. You know, what are you crying for? What are you goddamn crying for? You know, he was like, but you said you're going to take away my games. I was like, yeah, because you were naughty in school, buddy. Like, how many times have we had to have this discussion? You've been doing this constantly. I mean, I was going to say since year 2 of school, but thinking about it, he was like in reception and before that too, and it's like, you keep promising us that you're going to do right. You know right and wrong. You know, you're being stupid. You said, oh, you're calling me stupid. I said, look, even the most intelligent people on the planet do stupid things. And right now, you're making stupid decisions. You know, you've promised us that you're going to be good. You know, and this is where that ties into the conversation I was having earlier with Vaughn about parenting. The only thing he holds dear, that Theo really holds dear, is games. And the school came to us a while ago and said that he's terrified that you're going to take his games from him. You know, he freaks out over even the most minor of things. He freaks out that you're going to take away his games. I was like, well, they started to look at us as though we were the bad guys here. And it was one of those like, but they don't sleep. Like Theodore's little man is literally addicted to video games. If they go to bed at 8, 9 o'clock, he could be up again at 2 o'clock in the morning, ready for school. He'll be up and dressed, but he'll be there playing games. He's awake. The first thing he'll mention when he leaves school, "No, I've been good, can't play games. I'm going to go home and play Minecraft." Or something like that. It's like it's the one thing you can take away that you know is going to bother him. And we've done it before. He's lost games for like 2 months before, you know, because he's just not doing the right thing. He's not making the right decision. And I sat down with him and I said, look, because he started crying, saying no one loves me, he hates his life, he's not going to eat anything, he's going to starve and he wishes he'd die. And so I sat with him and I've had this, it's been a heavy night. It's been really heavy this evening. And I said, look, where are you getting all these crazy ideas from? Where do you get it into your head that we don't love you? You know, yeah, we're telling you off, buddy, but you shouldn't have flipped the table at school. You shouldn't have literally thrown a table. He broke the corner off the table. He tried to justify it. He said, well, the reason they're not charging you for it, Dad, is because it's only the corner. I said, but dude, you shouldn't have done it. You could have hurt someone. You know, you don't have to have an answer for everything, man. You You have to understand that you did it. No one else made you flip the table. No one else, but I was angry. But that's not the point. I go, you make me angry, but I can't come into here and throw all of your toys, or pick up your TV and smash it. I can't do it. It's just not the right thing to do. We need to. You need to sort out an outlet. You need to understand that, like I mentioned his maths work. Your teacher was telling you something, and you were like, no, because I know what I'm doing, it's easy. And then when she starts asking you questions, you were getting them wrong. So it's not that easy, is it? You said, but I thought she said, and he gave me the question that he thought she'd asked. I go, yes, but even though the thing that you answered in your head was correct, it still wasn't what she asked. Therefore, it was still the wrong answer. You were still wrong. No matter how you slice it, the wrong answer is still the wrong answer. You need to learn to pay attention. You need to pay attention. And the thing is, much like Enki, like when a big old argument explodes, if you make the other person laugh, it tends to right itself. And I started to explain to Theodore, I was like, look, buddy, I want you to go to school to learn all the things that I don't know. So then you can teach me. I go, you don't have to know everything. But trust me, buddy, once upon a time, a lot of the things that you liked didn't exist. And these people thought to themselves, you know what, this is an interesting thing that I found out what I can do with this thing. I wonder what happens if I do this to it. And in time, they managed to make something. I picked up Coca-Cola and I said, dude, once upon a time, this didn't exist. This didn't exist. And someone was like, you know what, I want a drink that does this or tastes like that. Or I want a cleaning thing that does this or does that. And it turns out they make something completely different. They learnt things and then put them into practice and then made things. Now, all of this didn't just happen overnight. You had to learn. They had to learn different processes, how things worked, and then they were able to construct what they wanted. Okay, but if you don't learn, you won't do anything. You won't be able to do what you want because you won't know how. I can't really explain where we're going with the conversation, but we went round and round the houses, and I said, well, my only job is your dad. I go, I don't care. I can be really angry with you, but I can still love you. Right? I can hate the things that you're doing, and I can still love you. I go, my only job as a dad is to make sure that you have the skills you need to navigate life. That's it. Okay? That you can go from where you are now and be able to manage your life through to whenever. That you can go out and get a job or find a craft that you enjoy or something that you enjoy that you can use to pass your time where you're not causing any trouble for anyone else other than yourself, if that's the case. I don't want you to go to prison, but your attitude swings in a way that you're likely to go to prison because you seem to think that you can have a few days of being good and then it's okay to be bad. I say, Theo, mate, when you're a grown-up, you've got to be good all the time, because if you're caught being bad, you could go to prison, and in prison, it's going to be worse than me taking away your games. My job as a parent is to give you the skills to get through life. Or some of them. To teach you right from wrong, to teach you how to look after yourself, ideally to teach you how to feed yourself and manage time and stuff like that. These are skills that I will give you a hint at, and then you will perfect over time. Be nice to people. Don't keep blowing up because they tell you to wait. Don't keep calling people names because they're not doing what you want them to do. You've got to chill out, man. You have to understand that just because someone's your friend doesn't mean that they're going to do what you tell them to do every time, because if they're your friend, you're their friend, which means that if they have to do everything that you do, in theory you should do everything that they tell you to do too. It's a two-way sway. You have to, you have to pick and choose, the battles that you're going to fight in. You're going to have to choose where you're going to give and where you're going to take. And bless him, I mean, if he's been doing this for years, and we're getting a little tired of it. And the school is constantly saying, well, it's not that big of a deal. So it's not that big of a deal. I'm sure a lot of the things that the table flip is a more extreme example, but in a lot of the other cases, well, he just didn't want to do his English, so he went and sat in the corridor. It's like, but he shouldn't be doing this, and you shouldn't let him do this, because this kind of behaviour has been shown for the last going on 5 years now, and we're telling him the exact same things every single time. We've got to crack down hard on this, because when he gets to high school, he's going to get the shit kicked out of him. No matter how you slice it, someone's going to take what he says the wrong way, and they're going to clap the crap out of him. I'm scarred from my time in high school. I am physically scarred. I'm partly blind in one eye. I've got scars on my arm, scars on my back. I've got burn scars. I don't want that kind of thing to happen to my son. But he was laughing and giggling by the end of it. And we said to him, mate, we're doing everything we can for you. I go, if we didn't love you, you asked us for a new bed. I go, and the bed you want's expensive. Right, it's expensive, which means that Mama has to go and do things that she doesn't want to do, and I have to go and do things that I don't want to do, so that we can afford to buy you what you want. The games you want. There are children in your school, buddy, and it's not about buying things for children necessarily. You've got to spend time with them and show them love and all this kind of stuff, but trying to explain to them that, yeah, you didn't want to do this in school, but there's a lot of things that we don't want to have to do, but we do it because we love you, or because we want to make you happy. There are children at your school that have to sell their birthday presents because they want a McDonald's, or they want a toy. They have to do this stuff. You don't. Their mums and dads aren't willing to do the extra things to get them what they want. So the child has to give up something they have to have something else. You don't have to do that. So, but kids are difficult. Kids are difficult. We only do what we do to stop them from getting hurt. Or to make sure that they have what we don't. Other than that though, my day's been alright. He's happy now. We got him to eat. He stole my mini Kievs, the bastard. I had, mini Kievs. What the potato triangle's called again? My memory's gone now. What are they called? What are they called? Hash browns. I had mini Kiev's, hash browns, and cheese, cauliflower cheese. And I gave him some. I was like, "Come on, buddy." He was like, "What are they?" Because I walked upstairs and saw my tea in my hand. He said, "What's that?" I go, "It's a mini Kiev, mate." So what's that? I go, "You can try it. It's garlic sauce, cream garlic sauce wrapped in meat." And I was telling him about how when we were saying about making stuff, you could do that too. You could find something that you want that doesn't exist yet, and you could make it, but you're going to have to knuckle down and get that grey matter going. But yeah, and he tried that, and then I sat and ate my tea with him, and after we had a chat, and then I sat and we all ate together. I gave some of my food to Williams as well, so we all just sat together as a little group. The three men of the house, with the exception of Charlie. sat, you know, because Charlie went up there, bless him, had been the foreman of the house. Sat there just chilling out, eating, having a chat. Yeah, other than that, the day's been alright. I think he's cleaning the kitchen again. I have no idea what the fuck anything is. Sorry, coffee. I mean, look at this, like, she's gone on a bit of a... She's got, like, that was there before. Oh, sadness! Just quickly. I know no one cares. It's not important. My rant hasn't been particularly important either. My Rodney Mullen Cup's handle's fallen off. I'm sad. Sad. But she started to redo all the kitchen. You know, not you know, it's all clean. All the vinyl's gone from in here. You know, she's gone through all the cupboards. She's cleaned up all of the cupboards. Hang on a minute. My display's just turned off. Apparently, don't panic. We've still got a display here. And she's gone and built this little box. And that's got all the vinyl in it. And there's stuff. She's cleaning all the house and I'm getting creeped out because I can't find anything. I cannot find anything. And now I'm going to turn off the phone app because the phone app is making it hard for me to do anything. Ready? Hang on. Today's been sidetracked. If that wasn't obvious, not a conversation I expected to have, but I've had a laugh and a joke with the boys this evening, tucked up in bed. You know, it's been alright. It's been alright. Just want him to understand that we're not dogging on him, but there's going to come a time when I ain't going to be able to help him anymore. You know, I'm not going to be able to bail him out, and I don't want him to do something stupid when he gets older. Whether it be, you know, he might be out of town, in another country, I might be too old, I might be dead, I might be in another town or another country, whatever. I just don't want Little Legs to go and do anything dumb. And get himself into a predicament that he's not going to be able to get himself out of. I'd like him and his brother to be able to help each other and support each other whenever they need it. And it just, it's just infuriating. Especially when you've been going round and round and round. If I can't even keep my own kid on straight now, I guess I don't really have that much of a right to dog other people, do I, at this point with the whole Privacy Act and Protection Act thing and saying how, you know, parents just need to take more responsibility. I noticed that people ask me my opinion and I say, well, you know, some people they can't handle, so I was talking to one of my friends recently, I said, like, most parents can't get into their heads that their children can be insufferable little sod bags and little bullies. They just can't. But the idea that their child is naughty or a bully just makes their little minds explode. You know, because that means that they weren't good enough. And oh god, sometimes I say, like, you know, I say these things, and then there's my kid being a little div, basically. He's been a bit of a Burke, but I'm just trying to stop him from falling, because I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want life to kick him in the face, you know what I mean? Now, as I say, not the kind of thing I wanted to natter on about, but I'm going to completely derail the vlog right now. I got another toy through the post. I did say the other day that the Panasonic GH5 was probably going to be the last big camera purchase I made, full stop. It wasn't, because today we got through, mainly because I get it cheap, to be honest with you, a Panasonic GX9, which is a rangefinder style camera. We're recording this on it. Can I tell you why I bought another camera? Or why we got another camera? Because the GH5 is expensive and I was terrified I was going to break it. Like lugging it around and carrying it around on my neck and all that. I'm terrified even these days of taking around the Canon 60D, unless it's like for work. If it's a paid gig, I'm not so fussed. I'm not one of these people that can do a dodgy claim on insurance, and you know, insurance when you're self-employed is expensive. You have to get like liability insurance, and you have to get your gear covered and all that. And I can't be saying like, oh well, you know, I was on a photo walk, but no, I was on a gig somewhere and I broke my stuff. Even when I take my 60D out or the EOS M, I still freak out that I'm going to bust it. Because I mean, the EOS M I got for about $100, but still it feels like a lot of equipment to just wreck. You know what I mean? And the same thing, the GH5 is the most expensive camera I've had since 60D. And the idea of breaking it was terrifying to me. So, especially if I was just going to wander around and do the vlog with it as well. Like if I'm walking around with a grand's worth of camera around my neck, it got to the point where I didn't want to take the GH5 out. I didn't want to vlog because I didn't want to take the GH5 out. Great for photos, great for video. I mean, I absolutely love the fucking thing. I absolutely love it. It's a great camera, but I don't want to break it. So the GX9 is like, well, it's not mega cheap. I mean, let's just say it seems like I'm loaded because I've gone and bought some cameras recently, camera equipment recently. I'm poor as fuck right now. I can't really justify having these things. However, I'm making some purchases that I would like, that I can't really afford before the 18-month challenge is up, because 18-month challenge meaning if I lose the 18-month challenge, if I lose the bet, and it's on the rocks at the moment, if I lose, I can't go online to buy things. So I'm kind of trying to get some of the things in that I want now, on the off chance that I maybe won't be able to later. I know it's stupid because I know it can't be enforced, but I'm a man of my word. And if I say I'm not going to be on the internet anymore, I'm not going to be on the internet anymore. So we grabbed this. By the way, I've left it on auto and it's not doing great because it's only got one light. I've got the app here so I can see what it is, see what it's doing, and it's massively well, it might be overexposed, I'm not entirely too sure to be honest, but it's doing an alright job. So you know, there's going to be a few other little bits and bobs that I pick up between now and July, and then I don't intend on buying a shit ton more gear, to be honest. Maybe a 25mm lens for it, because that'll be a 50mm equivalent. I love 50mm lenses. I love 50s on my Canons. I love the 50 equivalent on my Pentax. Some of my favourite photographs have been shot on 50s. They're decent primes, they're usually pretty fast, and they're usually cheap. I think the Panasonic one's about £50. It's about £150 thereabouts. Pretty good for a lens, considering you can buy lenses for these things for about £2 grand. Yeah, and this is, well, I say smaller, it's still a pretty hefty brick of a camera. Yeah, so I've picked that up. If I lose the challenge, I don't want to have any reason to go online. You know, so I want to have people's phone numbers so I can call them if they want to contact or if we want to talk. I don't have to go on Discord or whatever. I want to make sure that everything I kind of want to buy, I can either buy locally or I've already got it. Just little bits like that. So can I go over? This is basically a lower end version of the G9, which is the bigger version. The G9, imagine the G9 as being a baby version of the GH5, like having less features, and then this is a physically smaller G9, kind of. Maybe minus a few features here and there. Does have a record limit. The few things I don't like about it right off the bat: no microphone jack, so it's only internal audio, or if I do dual system sound, no problem. in the grand scheme. And if I want to do something with a microphone, I've got the GH5, I've got the Canons, I've got whatever. For some reason, doesn't come with a body cap. So I said, what do you mean a body cap? What I mean is, let's say you haven't got a lens on your camera, you don't want to have the sensor exposed, so you tend to just put a little cap on the body, just a little screw-on cap. Imagine this is your lens cap, but for the body of the camera. This doesn't have one. Also doesn't seem to come with a rear cap for the lens. It's got a lens cap, but no rear cap for the lens. I've had a look on some other people's unboxings of this camera because I was a tad concerned, and it turns out that seems to be normal. If you buy the body on the camera, you get a body cap. If you buy the camera with a lens attached, it comes in the box with the lens attached and a lens cap, but it doesn't seem to come with a body cap. Or at least not with this lens. I don't know why. What lens is this? I don't remember. 12 to 32. 3.5 to 5.6. I don't like it. Because it's one of those lenses where it's small, and then it says to actually activate the lens, twist it to 12mm, and then the camera can then use it. So it's not a pancake once you actually turn it, once you extend it to 12mm, which is its base focal length. Doesn't come with a charger either, which is dumb. In my opinion, it comes with a USB cable, a micro USB cable, and one of those micro USB, or one of those USB plug adapter things that you get for your phone, because you charge the batteries in body. Neat, but I would rather have a charger. Although I've seen online you can buy third-party chargers for them really cheap, like $10, but it just seems really weird. Would have preferred USB-C, because other cameras of this age, it's about a year old, come with USB-C for charging. The X-T30 from Fujifilm has USB-C, but then that would have been more lenses, another lens mount, stuff like that. What else was there? I didn't look. Oh yeah, if you go to use the viewfinder on the back, screen's touchscreen. Your nose touches the screen and changes the focus point. So you have to actually kind of actively move your head back a little bit. The screen's not the rear screen, but the viewfinder screen, because they don't have mirrors to bounce what the lens sees into the... On this, there's a fucking mirror in it, and you look through the hole up here, and what you see is what's in the lens. The smaller cameras, micro four thirds, you have mirrorless cameras, you have a screen. It's a screen, it's an electronic. It's dumping the image from the sensor onto a screen. It's always in live mode, kind of thing. The one in the viewfindery bit is not great, unlike the GH5, which is beautiful. But then that's to be expected. Also, this feels a lot cheaper, but then it is over half the price, or it's less than half the price. Some of the buttons don't feel particularly great on it and stuff like that, but it's going to do the job. I imagine the stills are going to be great. Same sensor, I believe, as the GH5. However, when you put it into 4K mode, which I'll never use, it crops in. Rather than using whole sensor, it crops in. I don't understand why. I think it's the same sensor as the GH5, but it crops in. That's what I've been told anyway. It has quite a reasonable crop on it, and I only plan on using it in 1080p anyway, so there's no crop, but why? Yeah, I think my battery's going to run out in a minute anyway, because I haven't properly fucking charged it, because there's no charger. You have to plug the goddamn camera in. Yeah, picked up some stuff, had fun with the kids. Fuck, I don't know. I don't want to lose the 18-month challenge right now, but I feel I'm going to. I feel I'm going to. So I'm kind of getting ready for it. And it's costing money and it shouldn't, but... Oh, and there's no unlimited record time if I plug in. It's got clean HDMI out, so if I plug it into a recorder, it'll give me like an unlimited record time. But this will do, and then when I want something bigger, I'll take the GH5 out. I don't want to break the GH5. Is that stupid? Like, why did you buy a camera if you're worried about breaking it? It was a gift, which makes it even worse for me. This thing I can run around and not worry too much. Maybe. I don't know. I'll charge some batteries for Mum. Guess Mr. I don't know what I'm talking about now. I'm gonna head off. Could you imagine your life without the internet? Hope you're well. I'll see you with a bit of luck tomorrow. I don't. Since Noodle had a bad day at school, I don't know what I want to talk about. I've lost track of stuff. Oh, Christmas tree fell over. Sort that though. Not that interesting, huh? Sorry about the techno rant at the end too. See you.